Дорогие товарищи, dear comrades, I am coordinator for ex-socialist countries in our international trade union. My name is Sergey Skvortsov. I am from Moscow, Russia, the Soviet Union. First of all, I'd like to convey our greetings to this conference and wish you successes in your work. We believe that pensioners' movement has a great potential in all the European countries, including, of course, former socialist countries. Dear comrades, after the dividing of the Soviet Union and some other federations, now there are nearly 30 ex-socialist countries, with many differences in economic and social and political situations. But the dismantling of social gains after the counter-revolutionary coups in our countries was realized according to similar schemes, and we still have many common features of fundamental nature. In the area of rights of pensioners, it primarily concerns the size of pensions and retirement age. As compared with the times of the socialism in all our countries, the average pension income was considerably reduced, and as a rule, now it's near a minimum subsistence level or even below it. Thus, the majority of our pensioners live in poverty. For example, in Russia, the average pension is officially about 200 euros. Though prices are not much lower than in many countries of the European Union. From the other hand, as a result of the so-called pension reforms, the retirement age was rising sharply. In the time of socialism, it was 55 years for women and 60 years for men. Now it has increased 5-7 years or even more. It's officially justified by the alleged growth of life expectancy, but taking into account the collapse of the health system as a result of its so-called optimization, in other words, reducing the number of public health institutions and health workers, that is absolutely untrue. In majority of our countries, the social and economic situation has also deteriorated significantly with the outbreak of hostilities in Ukraine. Foremost, this applies to Russia and Ukraine, whose troops are directly involved in the battles. Nevertheless, the war of sanctions and the gas war, the militarization of the economy with a negative impact not only on the parties of the conflict, but also on almost the whole of Eurasia, has also had serious consequences. And first of all, pensioners and elderly, as the most socially vulnerable part of the population, suffer. To face these challenges, we must take a lot of effort, but we are ready to struggle. 3 weeks ago, on May 27, the second conference of pensioners' organizations of former socialist countries was held in online form with participation of Comrade Kim Boish, General Secretary of our International Trade Union. On the conference, with participation of 11 organizations from 8 countries, we adopted several common directions of pensioner struggle. Abolition of increase of the age of retirement and returning it to parameters which existed under socialism. Increase of minimum pension to 1.5 value of subsistence minimum for pensioners. Increase of average pension to the level of no less than 50% of the average salary. Indexation of pensions for all pensioners, including working pensioners, according to inflation rates. Subsidy payout to pensioners for expenses for housing and public utilities, in size of no less than 50% of this sum. The real, not only declared delivery of free medical care to all pensioners. Dear comrades, we understand that we still are at the beginning of the long way, and we hope to adopt experience from our comrades from around the world. We think that from such a point, this conference will be interesting and useful.